Denizens of the grid, I bring you another game of Android Netrunner. In specific, today we will be watching these two players from the SHL, i.e. the Stim Hack League, Tarok 93 and CMC Advanced, facing off against each other. I'm going to quickly say hello to them. Hey guys, Johnny Hunter SAX, recording / commentating. Hope that's okay. If not, just say so and I'll leave. Good luck, have fun. Smiley face, and leave them be. Okay, so yeah, I've yet to have anybody say please don't record my game, but I'm of the opinion that whether or not they have a right to kick spectators, you shouldn't be a dick. If they don't want spectators, you don't need to stick around. There's other games to watch. So I'm trying this thing with full screen size recording, so hold on. We'll see if things work out. Okay. It looks like the board is backwards here with the corporation showing up on the runner's side and the runner going to be showing on the corp side. And, oh well, it's a shame. But we can deal with that. The identity is Haas Bioroid. They Haas Bioroids. Yes. Yes, they do. It looks like... Ooh. Okay, cool. So yeah, they're both okay with me watching. Haas Bioroid is known for many strategies right now. Not the least of which is Fast Advance behind Caprice Nisei or Ash and a Sansan, or just a general Glacier style of ice, using the new card in the pool team sponsorship and some different money assets, or other things. That kind of play is very Hasbio-ish. Kate, it's really hard to tell these days. She could be going in many different directions, but the primary thing we see a lot of with Kate is getting a lot of money, SMC, and prepaid push. And we're off to the races. Okay, so Hasbio is beginning the game. Drop some ice, take some credits. Basics opening, 1 up to 7 credits is pretty solid. You can't know what these two ice are. It could be anything. Architect is always dangerous, so unlikely the runner's going to make it run. Draw 3, drop an Astrolabe. Wow! Early game Astrolabe is awesome, because Hasbio is going to create servers. 1, 2, 3, you don't know how many, but definitely going to happen. That's going to help Kate get a lot of draws. At least 3, 4 draws we can probably expect there. Draws up to 6 and then cuts a card. This is something, by the way, you'll see good players do a lot of. They don't really worry about overdrawing their hand. There's always a junk card, like we just saw her throw away an Astrolabe, which she obviously doesn't need a bonus of. There's always a bonus card or something, and drawing more options is always more important. Okay, that's a server creation, so should remember the Astrolabe trigger. Yep, there it is. And boom, there's the extra card draw. So this is a pretty standard opening we're looking at here. All the centrals are locked down. Well, 2 of the centrals are locked down. Archives is probably not relevant yet. We've got the beginnings of a remote server here. Kate drops a clone chip, but no SMC, at least as of on the board as of yet. Same old thing can turn into a Maker's Eye. Same old thing can turn into a Legwork. Plascrete Carpus, essential against some decks, but Haas Bioroid we don't usually see a lot of heat damage out of, so probably reasonable to throw that away. And this is one way to build a Kate deck, is to have different answers. Oh! Corporation throwing down what could very well prove to be a gauntlet. 2 pieces of ice means a single SMC is not enough. SMC, clone chip SMC, maybe. First click running is smart because, a lot of the Bioroid ice is rejected, or just force some money to be spent. Here, IQ, we don't see IQ very much. IQ has strength for every different card you have in HQ, and in this case, since there's 4 cards in HQ, it's a 4 strengther. Kate can drop this free code gate breaker, but getting through there is still going to cost 4 credits, and she doesn't know what the next ice could be. It could very well just stop her cold. Let's see, though. 4 credits, and force the res. It's a Touring! Again rejected. Touring is a fantastic taxi ice here, so this is not a secure server right now. A single code gate breaker gets through all of it. But the thing about Touring is that its plus strength is going to make it very difficult for Kate to bust in there quickly. Hasbio better hope this isn't an agenda, because if it is, it's pretty vulnerable. Meanwhile, Hasbio goes ahead and gains 3 credits, and Cyber Cipher hits the board. Again, the Kate Bag of Tricks approach, a cheap, powerful code gate breaker. Dirty laundry on archives to make sure you have the money for it, but then we're going to run in. I guarantee you, we're running in here next turn. 5 strength is not very hard. It's 1, 2, 3, 4 credits? 4 credits breaks this whole server. So, yeah. Though now that I think about it, if he had run first click, he could have spent 1, 2, 3, 4, rejected, and triple click to get in here. He wouldn't have had to click for money. He wouldn't have had to install the Cyber Cipher. I guess what this really does is lets the Cyber Cipher hit the board without losing tempo if this server needs to be negated early. And it's an Adonis campaign! Ooh, burn! Baits the run, baits the money, forces the Cyber Cipher, and gets the refund. Doesn't have to worry about it. That was solid. And if this is a card that's going to protect that, like an Ash or an upgrade, which it looks like it is, and a new piece of ice. Oh no, a new server. I hope he remembers the Astro. He did remember the Astrolabe Fire. Great. So this is a really, really, really good position for our Hasbio friend. He has money. He has 9 more credits, presumably coming in slowly. And Kate has gone from powerful to poor. Kate is currently burning a lot of memory just holding these code gate breakers. We've got the double clone chip though. That's going to be hard to ignore. The moment an SMC hits the board, it's going to be like stim hack if necessary or something to get that credits up, and we'll see a whole rig just erupt out of nowhere if necessary. You mark my words. This Kate can run when she has to. This looks to me like Breaker Bay Grid plus ETH campaign. The ability to res a free ETH campaign for money behind a single ice. Because there's no way he'd put an agenda behind one piece of ice against Kate, even with an Ash protecting it. Most players aren't that gutsy. Okay, Kate is digging like mad. She's clearly trying to find something. Maybe a prepaid voice pad, maybe some money. We saw a good slice of her deck there. Sharpshooter, Atman, and Parasite. So this is clearly a toolkit style Kate. I have a little bit of an answer to every situation. I can clone trip out the Parasite. I can clone trip out the Atman at any given strength. If Kate just blind stim hacks into here, she can probably use clone trip to get what she needs. Ooh, it's a snatch and grab. We're gonna kill the film critic. Personally, I'm not sure why. Film critic doesn't seem like it would be important in this matchup. I mean, what's he worried about? Punitive counterstrike, mid-season replacements. I can't really think of it, but just the fact that this corporation feels the need to attempt the snatch and grab may be sufficient reason to be nervous. So yeah, it looks like the runner agrees with me though that it's not worth the money to defend this trace. Let it hit and let the film critic die. Film critic isn't that important. Let's see if that turns out to be the correct decision or not. Now that server is double iced, I'm a little bit more uncertain of my initial call. Because yeah, the time to have fired that off if that was a Breaker Bay grid would have been last turn. And so yeah, so it's not the Breaker Bay server that I thought it was. Double to install an Adonis campaign in the same server. Wow, nice. It's like saying, until you're ready to spend money to get in there, I'm going to keep getting money off of Adonis, and there's nothing you can do about it. And, ooh, wait. Did he put the Adonis campaign in this server? Hang on, I gotta do this. Just to make sure. Because I want to make sure that he hasn't forgotten it. Okay, yeah, it is in fact 3 cards on the server. He didn't just accidentally put in turns on the wrong server. Anyway, so let's... Ooh, and it's a legwork on the hand. And it's a Janus! Oh my god, he hard reses a Janus! I have never, ever seen a hard res Janus before. This is amazing. Okay, so legwork on the hand is a pretty big deal. But with Janus being hard resed like this, the corporation has gone to poor, no question, to make this happen. But that's 4 brain damage potentially going to hit, unless this runner finds a way. Now, it is possible that there's going to be a, whatchamacallit out there, a Deus Ex in the deck, but that's unlikely. It's possible that he could pull back an Atman at strength 8 and break like 0 of them, so yeah, that won't do it. So no, this is just gonna land. This is just straight gonna land. Sharpshooter would only work on a destroyer. It wouldn't work on AP type, so again, that's not gonna help. No clicks left to click through it. This is just gonna hit, and our Kate is gonna go from hand size 5 to hand size 1. Has just enough cards in hand not to die outright to this, but this Hasbio is looking to be very, very powerful right now. That being said, let's quickly take a look at the decks, shall we? There's 32 cards left in the deck. We've seen 0 agendas scored or stolen. There are no cards in the trash. This cannot be an agenda. So there have to be there are 17 cards. and no agenda seen out of them yet. So presumably, statistically, there's 3 or even 4 agendas in hand. So we'll see. And there goes Tarok saying what I was saying earlier, that I don't want a Strength 8 Atman. The thing is, I don't know if he's mathed yet, but even if he got Atman out of Strength 8, he wouldn't have any money left to actually break anything. Oh, there, he figured it out. Okay, so here's the triple access. Let's see how many agendas. Not one. Steal one. Not one. Okay, okay. So he goes to hand size 0 for the sake of 3 points. I gotta tell you guys, I would not feel comfortable in his situation. He thinks it was worth 4 brain damage. I disagree. I think that stim hacks are what he wanted to spend that brains on. But he knows his deck better than I do. Maybe he doesn't run stim hack. I will say this, the corporation is remarkably lucky in this situation because he has been through enough cards that, statistically speaking, he should have seen like 5 or 6 points by now, which means that there's a good chance there's another 2-pointer in his hand, and with all this Jackson draw, okay, now the hand is full. Now, it's worth pointing out that you can run through Janus by going first click run, click break, click break, click break, and still get in with just 1 more brain damage. So Kate can still get in there without actually breaking this. Kate can also Parasite it, which might not be an awful move if he starts, you know, now-ish. But he's not doing that. Just to cripple it over time. I mean, you know, I take that back. It would be an awful move. You don't want that draw on your memory. Janus isn't gonna do anything anytime soon, and if it's basically a more or less end the run on HQ, much worse things have happened. Runs the archives to force the Jackson shuffle, which obviously forces the Jackson shuffle. And same old thing, legwork of the hand would be a very bad idea, but Maker's Eye would be a fantastic idea. And that's what he does, and it totally lands. And with the high agenda density in the deck by now, there's a good chance that, wow, this corporation has gotten really statistically, well, not lucky, but somewhat favored. Maybe he just has a low agenda density, though. Maybe this corporation is running a lot of 3 and 4 pointers, as opposed to a 3 and 2 pointers. I mean, it's a possibility. That would explain low agenda density. If there were only 7 or 8 agendas in the whole deck, then this actually goes from being statistically highly improbable to merely statistically somewhat improbable. There could have been 2 3-pointers in the hand, 1 was missed, very reasonable, 50-50 odds at that. And then that got pitched to Jackson, and now we're back where we started, and that was half the points, or a quarter of the points in the deck right there. So that would make perfect sense to me. Okay, we got a Jackson Howard on the board. We got Jackson Howard with more power draw, so it looks like I'm kind of trying to figure out what the corporation's head game is here. How is he planning to win this? My money says that's a Cyberdex Virus Suite or a Chrysium Grid. I doubt it would be a Caprice Nice. It might be an Ash. Depends on what it is. We haven't been able to see enough to count all the influence. And there we go. There's another prepaid voice pad. So finally, Kate is getting powered up and ready to rock. Reinstalls a card. And the same Adonis campaign. For the love of God, man. I mean, I guess to be fair, the runner hasn't been in a position to really contest this yet. All I'll say is this. Breaker Bay Grid has worked overtime this game. 5, 10, not quite 15 credits. So sorry, 8, I think 8 credits worth of value because it's res the Adonis twice. And it's forced, if it was me, it would have forced a run, but it didn't. Kate has to be really careful here because what's happening is Kate's drawing and then discarding everything but 1 card each turn. I'm guessing he's looking for his money events, which would be reasonable. Wants to pack a little bit of cash. With all of the clone ships, he can run any server. And if HozBio is running, if HozBio is running a low agenda density suite, as I suspect is the case, based on his playstyle, as opposed to, you know, a bunch of 3 advanced 2-pointers or whatnot, then most likely what Kate's doing here is gearing up for the inevitable, I can make a run into any server because I have 2 clone ships and an SMC and 35 billion credits, and you have just an agenda. And all Kate would need to do in this situation would be to snipe the next agenda to be like, bam, on the head. There's the rig. We've got a code gate breaker, we've got a barrier breaker, we are missing a sentry breaker, but we've got a SMC, which is basically the same thing. The same old thing is going to work for probably for getting into R&D with another Maker's Eye. I can't imagine that he would run the same old thing for a legwork. Well, I take it back. This guy's been power drawing with Jackson, so unless he was building to, what the hell else would he be building towards? Corporation is down a lot of cards too. I should point out that the Corporation has 19 cards out of 49 left in the deck with no scoring thus far and no obvious attempts to score. That, in my estimation, is an agenda, and this or a bait to test if the agenda server is secure. And Kate seems to think what I do. So bang! There goes the Heimdall 2.0. And this is a doozy. Most of the time you could double click, get through it, and let one brain damage hit. But with your hand size down to 1 already, that probably is poor. If you really want to get through that, however, you need a big-ass barrier. And okay, it looks like a double click is the plan. He is double clicking to break the first two and then letting the run bounce him. And then and with the money drained from that, he'll then attempt to make his eye There's an assassin! I love it when we see cards I don't normally see. What the hell does assassin do? Blah, 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 sentry, blah, AP, blah, trace, damage, trace, trash. But it's an AP, so sharpshooter works. And wait, sharpshooter works? Oh, it's a destroyer. It's a destroyer, so sharpshooter works. Okay, great. So sharpshooter takes that out with a clone chip, meaning that this server is not very secure. Let's see what comes next. No res. What is he down to now? 11 creds? So he's saving for a hero. For a double assassin. Ooh. As Kate here, I probably just burned the second clone chip, honestly. I mean, I'm about to levy, probably. Presumably. I can't imagine that's not the plan. A Maker's Eye could just win me the game. I mean, 19 cards in deck, unless he's holding the agendas in hand. He's going with a Atman at 5. That also makes sense, because right now he has the cash, and he wants to threaten to run this server again and again. So, yes. Marcus Batty. Now, if Marcus Batty hits for 3 net damage, this will be game over. And it will happen because there's only 1 credit in hand! Oh! Burn! 2 credits to 1 credit. It's exactly enough to kill him with Marcus Batty. And only because he committed to an Atman. If he had not broken with an Atman, if he had broken with the sharpshooter, he would have floated 3 credits, which would be enough to contest, which would have been enough to contest Marcus Batty. But without it, there was no hope. And it was, in fact, just a bait. It was a bait the whole time. Where on earth are this guy's agendas? Where are his agendas? I don't even know. He tried so hard. Oh my god, wow. Okay, so that was a really, really entertaining game for front to back. We don't see brain damage hit very often. When we do, we rarely see it hit for large quantities, much less large quantities that stick. And wow, I'm really, really glad this game got recorded. Pardon me for 1 second while I say hello to these guys. Thank you both. That was a truly wonderful experience. My channel is youtube.com/bountyhuntersax, or you can search for Netrunner Kibitz. I hope you enjoy.